29th of August 2022. This is financial advice. So last few weeks I've been a bit quiet. Last video I did, I think I mentioned there's a potential move to the States from Sydney, so a fairly major lifestyle change, which means I could be properly awake during trading hours in America, which is where we've got a lot of our money. So yeah, previous excuse me, when I've listened to previous podcasts of traders who've properly made it, it seems that quite often, a lot of the time, they'll buy in the morning. Now, not necessarily on the open, but they'll buy on some sort of opening range, like 1 minute, 5 minute, or 60. So, for example, they might wait for the first stock to break out on the daily chart, but then wait for further confirmation that on the, say, the hourly or the 60-minute chart for the stock to sort of put a new high in there, and then use that as the trigger to buy. So now that's quite different to how I've been looking to trade. I've been trading end of day, and I've been trading stocks that are sort of pulling back. So it's not to say that if you're going to trade in the morning as a stock's breaking out, you're not trading stocks that are pulling back. In fact, you are. You're looking for a stock that's in a stage 2 uptrend. It's having some form of pullback either to the moving average, some sort of consolidation, etc. But the difference then is you're buying as it's resuming the uptrend from its breakout. So I got that very clearly from the Marco Nvidia podcasts and examples he went through, and same with that Christian Kulamaji, I think it's how you say it. So yeah, I've been experimenting with that within the last sort of week and a half, and until Friday it was going extremely well. Friday was a pretty big down day across the markets and got stopped out of a lot of little positions. So yeah, anyway, initial sort of thoughts are that's actually going quite well. It's sort of killing me getting up at midnight and then sort of 5:30 again to see how the close is. And yeah, anyway, that's my problem to sort out. So I'm going to continue this experiment. I've subscribed to a newsletter over there to really help me fine tune that sort of tactical entry. Yeah, I don't think I'll release the name of that just yet. I'm looking at subscribing to another newsletter that's this one guy I subscribed to, sort of pretty much long only, a little bit bullish, younger sort of guy. I'm thinking of offsetting that with someone who's a bit older, a bit saltier, and sort of open to trades on the downside too. And also looking to incorporate options. I've done a lot of research on options. I firmly believe it can make a lot of money if it's handled right. Haven't quite got my head around the sort of the short-term one. So one news that I'm looking at is incorporates options into that as well. I'm thinking of sort of signing up to that this week as I continue my experiment of sort of trading in real time, American time. So one thing I picked up from the newsletter I'm looking at subscribing to is this guy called John Carter, Simpler Trading. One thing I was not liking is they make a real focus on money management. So he's got the idea you want to be withdrawing money each week. So that really sort of hones in on not losing gains, protecting your capital, really sort of cutting yourself short, really sort of quite aggressively. So yeah, I've been mulling over do I start that sort of process to really sort of focus myself and just trying to make money. I really just see the stock market as an income sort of machine. So yeah, definitely pros and cons with that. But I can see the pros of that in terms of really, like, each week you're looking to make money, and each week you're looking to not lose money, rather than going for, in my case, a year at a time without making money, and that gets that gets pretty old. And thanks to that thinking, I'm going to enact a bit more selling tonight. Last week, I've been sort of doing this experiment of sort of trading real time. Like I say, that was going well. I had been selling one stock into strength, which is Celsius. So we'll come to that in a second. Yeah, been a nice little sort of a swing trade there. Like I say, been selling into strength, sold just over half of it into strength, just locking a gain. Still profitable, but I'm going to sell all but one or two shares tonight, and plus a few shares that I've got in Enphase, and that takes my account down to almost no holdings. Well, only a few shares in Celsius, Enphase, and a company called TELL, so to say. So the reason I'm doing that is I'm enacting the spouse rule. I remember on Thursday last week I was saying to my partner, I think I finally cracked all this thing out. Just getting up in the night is exactly what I need to do. And I know some traders do have literally a spouse rule, saying as soon as you start bragging to your partner about how much money you're making or you're going to make, that's it. You've got to get out. So funnily enough, that was on Thursday. Then on Friday, the market got slammed. Judging by the charts, we've potentially got sort of more volatility come. So I'm going to dial things back down. Don't get me wrong, we're sort of still playing with very small amounts of money. So this big upswing we had in the markets up until the last few weeks, I haven't participated in. So I've got nothing to brag about there. So the other reason that I'm looking to get sort of cautious again here is, there's a whole bunch of reasons. Sorry, just let me. Okay, probably saw that the markets retraced around about 50% of their downdraft. So there were literally headlines saying, "Oh, we've started a new bull market." So that was just such a huge tell. Complacency was really starting to creep in. This chart here, which is the number of stocks in the Nasdaq trading above the 50-day moving average, was at extreme lows here, but then it actually swung to extreme highs. So I've got on my notes here, when it starts getting into this sort of range, just start being cautious. Doesn't mean the market's going to plop like it did here, but it certainly means that easy early thrust has been had, and some sort of consolidation is required here. So that's actually proven to be a pretty good contrarian indicator, that one. Number of stocks advancing is deteriorating. So breakouts, some breakouts actually have been working quite well, but we've seen a lot of sort of sloppiness still, moving averages declining. So I'm just going to be defensive. So the other thing I wanted to make a note of, I sort of said before, I didn't participate in this big upswing of it. I mentioned in previous videos, all the ingredients were definitely, there was so much bearishness. The number of stocks trading above the 200-day moving average is extremely low. But I just didn't see the setups. And I think, if I'm being honest, I don't really have the confidence to sort of get back in. So it's so easy when you're in cash to say, it's actually kind of an easy position to be. There's no stress. You don't have to get up and go, oh shit, how much has gone up and down. So you almost start talking yourself into, well, that's just, then the market's got further to go down, and and then you get this sort of massive bear market rally. So still actually beating indexes, funnily enough this year. But that's the other reason I'm going to try some newsletters with some people that are experienced and maybe just better than me, to help me really. I think I've got an overall pretty good feel of the market, but just getting that sort of tactical entry and the sort of confidence to get on some individual names, I think that's what's sort of lacking me a little bit. I'm going to go through one chart. Celsius. Oops. Pretty nice looking chart here. Moved to stage 2, big advance in volume. I bought it this day here, the 10th. Had a pretty wide stop loss on it. Anyway, sort of kept that. My stop loss was below the low here of this breakaway gap day. And been selling it into strength. So really happy that sold a bit that day, yes, came down sort of 4%, 4.5%. Arguably, it's only sort of just tagged resistance here. Sorry, support. Sorry, resistance. So I don't think this chart's actually broken. But also, I'm enacting the spouse rule. I'm also enacting this thing. I'm really going to protect my account, regardless of what I think the chart's doing, because this chart in a vacuum is great, but the overall market is not looking great. So that's otherwise sort of an amber-looking chart that where things are sort of just drifting up, making money. You just start getting complacent and start thinking it's a bit too easy. Oh, God damn it, sucks you in. So yeah,